Welcome to episode 29 of my podcast, The View from the Crow's Nest. And this is going to be the shortest episode ever because it is still frickin' Groundhog Day after the last, what seems like all my life, but it's probably only about 6 to 8 weeks of working on the Grip the Sky experience. Something I realised in the last few days that I haven't actually specifically mentioned as to why this is taking so long is because there's 3 parts to the Grip the Sky experience. The first part is collating all the assets, which means recording the songs, getting the visuals ready, etc., etc. The second part is designing all of those and putting them into a cohesive, effectively a website, into a cohesive system where you can enjoy it. And the third part to all of this is marketing, so making sure that people actually know that it exists and getting it out there to people. So the first part is kind of the fun part. Hey, this is creative, I've made songs and it's all fun, etc. The second part, which is the part I'm in now, is putting it into a website. This is the thing that is just killing me because it's taking far too long. And the third part is the marketing part, which will be coming up after this. And the whole thing is, as a user, you click a link and the link takes you through to what you expect it to take you through to, and you have the experience and you think, yep, that's fine. In fact, you probably don't even think anything, it just takes you through to that experience, and that's what was expected. But what you may not understand is, as a web designer working in the back end, that click might be 8 hours of work to make it function like you expect it to function. So the worst thing is, the more time I put into this, the more time that it is taking me to do this, ironically, the user will probably notice less because it means that it works exactly as they expect it to. It works in the most fluid and the most effective and efficient way. So I've just spent so long on this and no one's even going to realise it. I swear, no one's even going to realise it, because all it needs to do is do what it needs to do. And as soon as it does what it needs to do for the user, you won't even think about what's happened in between. So I'm still working on this damn thing which is taking so long. I love it. I want it out there. I want you to enjoy it. But my goodness, I'm ready for it to finish. Outside of that, man, nothing else. I chatted with Mina today about trying to find, as I was talking about yesterday, trying to find stuff that is more interesting for me and her that we can do together, so that when I'm looking after the kids, it's not just me being bored or them being bored, but actually something that we find a middle ground, because I want to spend more time with them, I want to do more stuff with them, but I need to be engaged with it. Just like any human, just like Mina does, just like Leonardo does, need to be more engaged with it, and then in that way we will have more fun, we will learn, etc. So I had a chat today and we came up with a few ideas, so hopefully we'll find a way of hitting a common ground, so we'll see in the week ahead. Had no fallout from my personal training session yesterday. It doesn't even feel like I did one, whereas I'm still feeling in my triceps the pain from Monday's session, so I know that Monday's session was definitely more intense, which was the first session. So my next one should be Monday, so I'm looking forward to that. I imagine this Monday coming is going to put me through my paces, and I'll probably feel it on Tuesday or Wednesday. Outside of that, had a social evening this evening, a video call with friends, and something that occurred to me, after all these years of doing video calls, I can't believe it only just occurred to me, but I'm going to share it with you in case you haven't thought of it, and it might help you. When you do video calls, it's like tennis. You have to do say what you want to say, and then wait for the other person to respond and say it back, and then you have to time your response to their response, because otherwise the microphone and the speakers and blah blah, it cuts out and you only hear one person, etc. And it occurred to me, well, that's clearly because there's a software algorithm which is stopping a feedback loop coming from the speakers of the unit you're listening to, going back into the microphone of the unit you're using, and then that creates a feedback loop. So I thought, well, if both parties are using headphones with microphones, then it'll probably not do that, and then it'll be like having a normal phone conversation but with video. So I tried it today, and guess what? It does exactly that. So we had a video call this evening, 2 couples through one iPad, and it was fine. It was great. I drank 2 bottles of wine, so you can probably tell that right now. It's definitely fine. But my thinking is that next time, if each individual person within those 2 couples, so 4 people, if you use your individual phones with headphones, it will be like a normal conversation. So that's going to be the next thing that to try. Anyway, it's, according to my phone, 20 to 1, and I'm really hoping that this, according to the app, is 20 to 12, although it probably isn't, such that I haven't missed a day. Because although I feel like I haven't missed a day of my podcast so far, 29 days and going strong, because this is still that day, nonetheless, according to the dates, depending on how it timestamps this podcast, it may put it in as the next day, and that would be annoying, because I don't feel like I've missed a day, and I don't want to miss a day. But we'll see. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Tomorrow is the 30th day of the podcast, which I guess is a month. So I'll have to celebrate by pretty much doing exactly what I've done for the last 4 weeks, which is getting tedious for both you and me. But nonetheless, thank you for listening. If you are about on Twitter, come over and say hello at Romeo Crow. I would love to hear from you. Whatever you've got to tell me, it'll be wonderful. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself. Toodle pip.